Hello friends, welcome to Suprabha Academy's MPSC course in English medium. Today we'll be discussing about the economic questions which have been asked in the combined prelim exam which is held on 4th June as of today. 4th January 2026 as of today. So in this combined prelim exams, there were 14 questions which were asked from economy section. So we'll understand these questions. मग या क्वेश्चनसाठी काय केलं पाहिजे, कसा अभ्यास केला पाहिजे, ओके, इंग्लिशमध्ये काय रेफरन्स आहे याविषयी आपण बोलू. तर 4 जानेवारीला जी कंबाईन प्रिलिम्स झाली त्याच्याविषयी आपण आज डिस्कस करणार आहोत. तर एक एक क्वेश्चन घेऊ आणि त्याचं एनालिसिस करू. सो पहिला क्वेश्चन आहे अटल इनोव्हेशन मिशनचा. कन्सिडर दीज स्टेटमेंट्स. ओके, कन्सिडर दीज स्टेटमेंट्स. सो विच of the two statements are correct, incorrect, ते तुम्हाला बघायचे आहेत. So Atal Innovation Mission is an initiative of central government. This is a correct statement in the sense it was Niti Aayog which proposed and pushed forward for Atal Innovation Mission so that we have a environment where we can promote entrepreneurs, we can promote the startups. Okay, very important scheme for this of the central government. Then Atal Innovation Mission is instrumental in establishing ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship. Yes, that is the main aim of Atal Innovation Mission. So both these statements are correct. Therefore, the correct answer is 4. So 21 is going to be 4. Fine. Now this is A series. Okay, let me remind you that this is A series of the combined paper which was held on 4th of January. So A series चे questions बघतोय आपण, and in this A series you have economy questions from 21 to 34. So we are going to discuss these questions. Okay, next. According to Economic Survey 2022-23, which of the following are subsectors included in Make in India 2? Now we all know this is it's a flagship program of the government of India, Make in India. Okay, whatever we have importing, whatever we want to get from outside, Make in India. So for that, government is giving a lot of incentives, subsidies for this Make in India scheme. And what all is included? What are the subsectors of Make in India? Now, steel, yes. Gym equipment, toys, yes, definitely. We know many of the toys, not many, literally all of the toys we are importing. Fine. So toy is also a subset of Make in India. Now, what is not a subset is fisheries. So what is not a subset is fisheries. Therefore, the correct answer of 22 is 3. Okay, 22, it's 3, A, B and C. So only gym, out of the options only steel, gym equipment and toys form a part of Make in India. Fisheries is not a part of Make in India. Now this 23rd question. Okay, as of March 2024, the Maharashtra state has dash share in startups recognized by Government of India at all India level. Now this is purely a factual question. Okay, this is purely a factual question. Now for factual questions, let me tell you, when you're going for combined exams, factual questions, either you know or you don't know. Don't waste time. Okay, because if you look at the overall combined questions, okay, you have to solve 100 questions in 60 minutes. That means you need to have speed and accuracy. Speed and accuracy खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे तुमच्या combined क्वेश्चन पेपर मध्ये. तर स्पीड अँड accuracy साठी कधी कधी असं करावं लागेल, क्वेश्चनचं आन्सर येतंय किंवा नाही येत, इमिजिएटली फ्रॅक्शन ऑफ अ सेकंड मध्ये मूव्ह फॉरवर्ड, आणि हे फॅक्च्युअल क्वेश्चन साठी इम्प्लिमेंट होऊ शकतं. कन्सेप्च्युअल क्वेश्चनला थोडंसं आपल्याला माहिती आहे की थोडं ब्रेनला स्ट्रेन दिला की येस आन्सर येऊ शकतं, त्यामुळे तिकडं तो टाइम युटिलाइज करू शकता तुम्ही. यू कॅन युटिलाइज दॅट टाइम ओव्हर देअर. बट ॲज ऑफ नाउ यू नो और यू डोंट नो, द करेक्ट आन्सर इज 17%. So as of March 2024, the Maharashtra state has 17% of in startups recognized by the Government of India at all India level. Now, that is question 23. Moving ahead. Okay, question 24. Now this is also again a factual question. Okay, how many private commercial banks were nationalized on 19 July 1969? We all know that in 1969 and 1980, okay, private banks were nationalized when India became independent. Okay, after that only SBI, State Bank of India, okay, which was the Imperial Bank of India, it was handed over by the British government to the Indian government. Therefore, that was the bank with the Indian government. Apart from that, the Indian government did not have any bank, okay, except for RBI. So the Indian government felt the need to nationalize the banks so that the Indian government can control the फ्लो ऑफ कॅपिटल इन द मार्केट. ओके, कॅपिटल कुठून कसा जायला पाहिजे, ओके, भांडवल कुठं लावलं पाहिजे, त्यासाठी बँक्स गव्हर्नमेंटच्या मालकीचे पाहिजेत आणि त्यासाठी गव्हर्नमेंटनी 19 जुलै 1969ला 14 बँक्स नॅशनलाइज केले आणि पुढचं म्हणजे 1980 मध्ये आपण अजून 6 बँक्स नॅशनलाइज केले. त्यामुळे गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडियानी टोटल आतापर्यंत 20 बँक्स नॅशनलाइज केले. वी हॅव नॅशनलाइज 20 बँक्स एज ऑफ नाव. फाईन. देन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ओके, दिस क्वेश्चन इज मॅच द फॉलोइंग. Banking Regulation Act, you have the acts, banking nationalization, banks in public sector in India as on 31st March 2025, branch expansion. ठीक आहे. आणि राईट हँड साइडला तुम्हाला सोशल पर्पज 12 रेग्युलेशन पॉवर्स ऑफ सेंट्रल बँक आणि मोर डिपॉझिट मोबिलायझेशन. तर यू हॅव टू जस्ट मॅच इट विथ व्हॉट द ऍक्ट और द नंबर विच दे हॅव आस्क्ड. द बँकिंग रेग्युलेशन ऍक्ट, बँक नॅशनलायझेशन. आता बँक नॅशनलायझेशन जे झालं होतं ना, इट वॉज फॉर सोशल पर्पज. ओके, सो दॅट द गव्हर्नमेंट विल हॅव मोर बँक्स विथ इट अँड इट कॅन गिव्ह लोन्स टू द पुअर पीपल ॲट अ व्हेरी लेस इंटरेस्ट रेट. गव्हर्नमेंटच्या मालकीची जर का बँक असेल तर गव्हर्नमेंट इंटरेस्ट रेट त्याचा कमी करू शकते लोन्सचं. सो दॅरफॉर बँक नॅशनलायझेशन इज फॉर सोशल पर्पज. बँकिंग रेग्युलेशन ऍक्ट जे आहे ना, आय एम सॉरी, बँकिंग रेग्युलेशन ऍक्ट जे आहे इट वॉज फॉर रेग्युलेटिंग पॉवर्स ऑफ द सेंट्रल बँक. ओके, देन बँक्स इन पब्लिक सेक्टर. आता हे किती बँक पब्लिक सेक्टर मध्ये आहे त्यासाठी मग जास्त डोकं लावलं नाही. इवन इफ यू डोंट अप्लाय युअर ब्रेन्स, नंबर 12 हॅज टू गो विथ नंबर ऑफ बँक्स इन पब्लिक सेक्टर. सो C has to be 2. So even if you look at that, C2 is just one option. तसंच man पाहिलं तर. आणि ब्रांच एक्सपान्शन कशासाठी असणार आहे? फॉर मोर डिपॉझिट मोबिलायझेशन. सो A3, B1 that is bank nationalization for social purpose, C2 आणि D जे आहे ते 4. So this is question number 25 in this thing. Now let's move to question number 26. Okay, if you move to question number 26, now this is a very tricky question. This is a very tricky question. India's food grain, they have given you two statements. India's food grain production touched a record 315.7 million tons in 2021-22. Okay, 315.7 million tons. And India's productivity of millets, sorry, India's productivity of millets excluding jawar was higher than Ethiopia. ना आता हे टोटली फॅक्च्युअल क्वेश्चन आहे. एक तर माहिती आहे किंवा नाही माहिती, ह्या क्वेश्चनवर जास्त टाइम घालवायचा नाही. ओके, अगेन इन 60 minutes 100 क्वेश्चन्स, 60 मिनिटांमध्ये 100 क्वेश्चन, त्यातूनही 20 क्वेश्चन ह्याचे होते आपले ॲप्टिट्यूडचे होते, लॉजिकल रिझनिंग, त्यासाठी जास्त टाइम लागतो. सो फॉर दोज 20 क्वेश्चन्स ऑन ॲप्टिट्यूड अँड लॉजिकल रिझनिंग यू नीड टू डिवोट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. Fine. So in such questions, if you know it, attempt it. If you don't know, move ahead. Not an issue. Okay. So India's food grain production touched record 315. Yes, definitely it touched 315. हे correct आहे. फक्त हे जे आहे ना, Indian productivity of millets, productivity म्हणजे काय? पर हेक्टर मध्ये किती yield होते, किती प्रोडक्शन होते, पर हेक्टर मध्ये किती प्रोडक्शन होते, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण अजून इथिओपियाच्या मागे आहोत. So this statement is incorrect. Therefore you have only A correct. Therefore 26, the answer is 3. Question 26, the answer is 3. Then question 27. Now this question 27, it is given in economy section, but you can also club it in polity. Okay, straight away त्यांनी articles दिलेत आणि त्या articles चे related काय आहे ते दिलेले. So this is very straightforward question. Article 112, 151, 267 and 280. Okay, we go for finance commission. सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे 280 आर्टिकल इज फायनान्स कमिशन. सो डी इज 4 म्हणलं तर एकच आहे. इवन हे जरी तुम्ही पाठ केलं असेल तर डी इज 4 म्हणलं तर एकच ऑप्शन आहे, दॅट इज 2. सो द आन्सर इज 2. बट विल अंडरस्टँड 112 annual financial statement, the budget. Article 112, that is the budget, we call it as budget, but in polity, the constitution, the words mentioned are annual financial statement. Okay, 151 it goes for audit reports. 267 it is for contingency fund. Okay, the contingency fund. Fine. So even though these are the provisions regarding finances, these articles we study in the constitution, that is the polity section. Okay, so ha economy चा question hai, but still you need to know the polity aspect of it. Moving ahead, Okay, question 28. Again, this is a very factual question. The financial inclusion dashboard अंतर्दृष्टी, okay, they RBI ने establish केलं होतं अंतर्दृष्टी. The financial inclusion dashboard अंतर्दृष्टी was launched in June 2021. The answer is 1. 28, the answer is 1. What is अंतर्दृष्टी? Financial inclusion, okay, आर्थिक समावेशक कळफळ. Okay, so financial inclusion, why is it required? To understand how deep we have penetrated. Okay, it is very essential for जनधन योजना. जनधन योजना किती सक्सेसफुल झाली, किती लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचली, ते अनालिसिस साठी हे अंतर्दृष्टी डॅशबोर्ड आरबीआय ने एस्टॅब्लिश केलाय. सो दे हॅव आस्क्ड यू द फॅक्च्युअल क्वेश्चन. कधी एस्टॅब्लिश केला? इट वॉज एस्टॅब्लिश्ड इन जून 2021. देन दिस इज अ कन्सेप्च्युअल क्वेश्चन. This is a conceptual question. Concept तुमचे clear पाहिजे. So fiscal deficit, question number 29. Fiscal deficit is government's total expenditure and total receipts excluding borrowing. This is correct. Difference between capital expenditure and revenue receipts, wrong. Difference between revenue expenditure and revenue receipts, हे पण चुकीचं आहे. So fiscal deficit is nothing but government's total expenditure and total receipts excluding borrowings. Fiscal deficit मध्ये आपण जेवढे borrowing येतात ती आपली liability असते fiscal deficit मध्ये. Therefore it is excluding borrowing. So therefore this A is the correct option. So 29 it is A. This is a factual, this is a conceptual question. Conceptual question अजिबात चुकायचे नाही. Okay, if you want to pass this exam, be very thorough with your concepts. Then next you have question 30. Again, this is a conceptual question. Fine. Quantitative weapons. What are the quantitative weapons of monetary policy of RBI? So monetary policy is quantitative as well as qualitative. So quantitative काय आहेत? Quantitative provisions काय आहेत? Okay. So which are the quantitative instruments of monetary policy of RBI? That is the question they have asked. Discriminatory rate of interest charged on certain types of advances, nahi. Repo rate, yes. And credit authorization scheme, nahi. Open market operation, yes. So the correct answer is B and D. For question number 30, the answer is 3, B and D. Now you know, you might be knowing the concept of quantitative control of the monetary policy of RBI. So the answer is B and D. Next, if you move, okay, now this question again, okay, this question, question number 31, interesting question है. Okay, mostly हा question accounting से related है, the accounting of the government and all those things and the standard principles you have in accounting. त्यामुळे economy as such मध्ये नाहीये, पण ठीक आहे. They have asked this question: what are the, which of the following are the principles of accounting? Accrual principle, okay, materiality principle, economic entity principle, and economic entity principle and monetary unit principle. Okay, now accrual principle, yes, it is part of principles of accounting. Accrual principle म्हणजे काय? Whenever the actual work is done, okay, fine, you have to go for the accounting of that work in that month, on that date itself, not when the cash is paid or cash is received. एक simple example, मार्च महिन्याचं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल, the electricity bill of March month is paid in April. Okay, cash कधी गेली? एप्रिल मध्ये गेली. But when you go for accounting, it would be an expense for March month. त्याला म्हणतात accrual principle. Okay, fine. Accrual principle. ज्या महिन्यामध्ये तुम्ही ते काम केले, त्या महिन्यामध्ये ते तुम्ही मांडलं पाहिजे. You are going to go for when the work has been done, when the transaction has been done, not when the payment has been done. Cash कधी move झाली? It is irrelevant. When the work has been done in that month, you are going to include it in your account statement. Fine. So that is accrual principle. Materiality principle, economic entity principle, and monetary unit principle. Now, economic entity principle. What is economic entity principle? If I am doing a business, okay, so the businessman's personal life is different and his economic life is different. His business life is different. That is this thing, the economic entity principle. It is part of accounting. Then monetary unit principle. Only those things which can be monetized, they should be included in your account statement. Okay, only those things which can be मॉनिटाइज्ड. ओके, ज्याला मॉनिटरी व्हॅल्यू आहे दॅट तेच फक्त तुमच्या अकाउंट स्टेटमेंटमध्ये येणार. दॅट इज अ मॉनिटरी युनिक प्रिन्सिपल. हां, materiality principle. What is materiality principle? Materiality principle says that only things which are important should be included. थोडेफार अनइम्पॉर्टंट असतील ना त्याला तुम्ही सिम्प्लिफाय करा किंवा सोडून द्या. वन बेसिक एक्झाम्पल. ओके, अंबानी, ओके, रिचेस्ट पर्सन इन इंडिया, अंबानी, त्यांच्या अकाउंटिंगमध्ये दिस पेन इफ इट कॉस्ट 1000 रुपीज, तर 1000 रुपीजच्या ऐवजी ह्या पेनची किंमत 1002 रुपये झाली. ओके, 1002 रुपीज. That 2 rupees, does it matter much for Ambani? No, it won't matter much for Ambani. Reliance Industries, एवढी मोठी इंडस्ट्रीज, मग ते कुठेतरी 2 रुपये कुठेतरी ऍडजस्ट करायचे, सिम्प्लिफाय करून टाकायचे. सो इट इज नॉट दॅट इम्पॉर्टंट, सो डोंट पे मच अटेन्शन टू इट, नाही तर खूपच टाइम जाईल. 150 रुपयाची वस्तू घेतली, 140 रुपये खर्च दाखवला, 10 रुपये प्लस मायनस झाले, तर 10 रुपये अंबानींसाठी किंवा रिलायन्ससाठी काहीच नाही. मग ते कुठेतरी ऍडजस्ट करायचे. दॅट इज द प्रिन्सिपल ऑफ materiality principle. So all of these principles are principles of accounting and the answer is all the above. हा थोडा वेगळा क्वेश्चन होता with respect to accounting. Then question 32. Now this is again a conceptual question. Government finances its budget deficit by using printed money. It can lead to inflation. Okay, whenever the government finances its budget deficit by printing more money, more demand in the market, inflation. ओके, सिंपल कन्सेप्ट आहे. पैसे जास्त छापले गव्हर्नमेंटनी, पैसा मनी सर्क्युलेशन इन द मार्केट इट इन्क्रीजेस, बट ऑब्वियसली इट्स गोइंग टू लीड टू इन्फ्लेशन. ओके, देन इफ यू मूव टू क्वेश्चन 33. So question number 33, which of the following is our characteristics of ability to pay principle? Okay, ability to pay principle. The ability to pay principle आहे ना, these are one of the canons of taxation given by Adam Smith. म्हणजे टॅक्सेशन कसे असायला पाहिजे, हाऊ शुड द टॅक्सेशन पॉलिसी बी. ओके, दॅट इज व्हॉट ॲडम स्मिथ हॅज गिवन. त्याला आपण कॅनन्स, प्रिन्सिपल्स ऑफ टॅक्सेशन म्हणतो. त्याच्यापैकी एक आहे अबिलिटी टू पे प्रिन्सिपल. म्हणजे टॅक्स कशाला असायला पाहिजे, ओनली दोज हू हॅव द अबिलिटी टू पे टॅक्स शुड बी टॅक्स्ड. ओके, दॅट इज नोन एज अबिलिटी टू पे प्रिन्सिपल. सो high income earners and wealthy individuals should pay more tax. बरोबर आहे. Low income earners and poor people are exempted from paying tax. ते पण बरोबर आहे, त्यांच्याकडे abilities नाही पे करायला. So which of the following is our characteristic? Both A and B. So therefore for 33 the answer is 3. 16 वित्त आयोगाचे अध्यक्ष कोण? Who is the chairperson of the 16 Finance Commission? The answer is 1. Dr. Arvind Panegria. It is again a factual question. So 34 the answer is 1. So now these were the questions asked from economy. So what have we understood from this? There are two things. Okay, if you are planning to understand economy or study economy for this exam, one, be very thorough with your concept. Concept नीट असं ना पटापट सुचत जात. Okay, for example, ability to pay principle, किंवा if the government prints more money, what will happen? हे सगळे conceptual questions आहेत. हे तुम्हाला यायलाच पाहिजे. कन्सेप्ट एकदम पक्की करायची. सेकंड थिंग, फॅक्च्युअल गोष्टी असतात. ओके, इंडियाचं फूड ग्रेन प्रोडक्शन किती आहे, ओके, किती बँक 19 जुलै 1969 ला नॅशनलाइज झाल्या, हाऊ मेनी बँक्स वर नॅशनलाइज ऑन 19 जुलै 1969. हे सगळे फॅक्च्युअल गोष्टी आहेत. तर फॅक्च्युअल गोष्टींसाठी तुम्ही काय करणार, ओके, आत्तापासून एक सवय घ्या, जेवढे पण फॅक्च्युअल गोष्टी आहेत जे विच यू नीड टू मग अप, स्टार्ट रायटिंग दोज फॅक्च्युअल थिंग्स ऑन अ सेपरेट नोटबुक. And you can write the factual things about anything, history, geography, polity, economy, everything, factual things, you write it in a separate notebook and see to it that you revise the notebook every 3 days. प्रत्येक 3 दिवसानंतर ती नोटबुक रिवाइज करायची. Every day you come across some facts, note it down. त्या एका नोटबुकमध्ये सगळे फॅक्ट्स करायचे. कारण काय, सगळे फॅक्ट्स शेवटी तुम्हाला एका पेपरसाठी पाहिजे. You need all the facts for one paper. So start revising that factual notebook. You prepare a separate factual notebook. Everything, Article 112. Okay, write in that notebook. 16 Finance Commission. Who's the chairperson of 15 Finance Commission also? Write in the notebook. These are factual things. Every now and then you need to mug it up. Only then you will be able to revise it. नाहीतर डोक्यामध्ये फॅक्ट्स एका झटक्यात बसत नाही. You won't be able to grasp all the factual data by just giving it 1 or 2 readings. So prepare a separate notebook for factual things and start mugging up that notebook at least twice every week. Leads historyचं, geographyचं, okay, economy facts. Write down all the facts in that notebook and start mugging up. Okay, that will definitely help you in the exam to score very good marks. So economy, there are just two aspects. Understand the concept, don't let the conceptual questions go wrong, and mug up the data. Start writing the data. Okay, mug up the data. Okay, whatever data you have, the current affairs, the past data, just keep on writing that data. Fine, and start mugging up the data. Definitely you'll score very well in economy. Fine. So that's all from Suprabha with respect to the economy section. Okay, I hope it was useful. Fine. So thank you everybody.